I hate the way this game is made. I also hate this headset. I just want to play this on PS5, man. But I can't do that without starting all over from the beginning. And I don't want to do that when I am... Let's see. Alright, just let me see my save progress, please. Like, my time. Where can I just see my playtime? I am so sick of... What do you want? Cat. Okay, where can I see how many hours I have in this game, please? Please just let me look. Please just let me look somewhere. Please. Where? I'm so tired. I'm just so tired. Where can I see my... Oh my god. Like, I just want to see how long I've played. But, like, I don't know. But I'm like 20 hours in or something. And I don't want to just start from the beginning just to play the game with better performance. But I want to play the game with better performance, but I can't carry save data over. I'm sick of this garbage. And I also want to be able to see where I'm walking. Oh my god. What am I stepping into? Okay. My gloves. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I just look to see what I'm doing, but nothing means anything in there to me right now. My brain is just dead right now. Just let me walk through the reeds. Do I have to? I just want to talk to...
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast.
Yes, I am Hive Ace. I am suffering though. I tried to play it on PlayStation 5, the PS4 version, because I can see everything from there and it's a little bit smoother. And then I had the save data from 2 months before this, which is a month before now. And then I went to try and upload it from here, and then it started downloading another update. So then I had to close the upload to see if I could pause the update, and then the update had finished at just that moment. And then I went and started the upload of the save data again, and then I went into my room and downloaded it, and then I started the game, and it sat there loading for 2 minutes, and it didn't move, and it didn't start the game. So I closed the game. Then I deleted the old save data. Then I downloaded went in here and uploaded the save data again. Then I went into my room and downloaded it again. And then I started the game. And then, like after deleting the old save data in my room, and then finished the download, and then started the game, and it said cannot start app. And then I tried to open it again, and it said cannot start game or app. And then I closed the game and deleted the game and started the download of the entire game again. And then I came in here and started the game on the PS4. I just wanted, I want to play the PS5 version because it's smoother and faster and doesn't have the same loading times. But you can't keep your save data between versions. So I have to play it here because the PS4 version on the PS5 just broke. And I don't know what broke. It just broke. So how's your day been going? I'm sorry to start things off with bitterness, but I'm bitter. I also don't remember what I'm doing. And my arm hurts, and I don't know why. Maybe if I punch something hard enough, it'll feel better. It won't, and there's nothing for me to punch. Yes, thank you for your sympathies for my fictional my fictional problems. Trying. Sometimes people ask me why I don't play games on PC. And that's because things like that happen on PC every single time you try to do anything. But technical hardships are very difficult because you want to yell at the computer is intelligent, and then you're like, please work, and it's like, no, I can't. I'm too dumb. And you're like, I want to communicate to the computer what I want, but it's not made for that. I'm looking for, they said, a girl down the beach who might have the gloves of the armor that the soldier was wearing that had been hanged, the murder victim. But the beach is like miles. And like, I can only zoom out so far. Like this whole, half the town is beach. It's a seaside town. I remember I tried to play the old the 2008 Prince of Persia game, and then I got to a loading screen and it just wouldn't move, and I was like, why not? And then I went and looked up help, and they were like, yeah, hold down the print screen button and that makes it load.
Remind you of anybody?
No one comes to mind. Me? Kim? I'm not going to have a seagull conversation.
You and the seagull are just alike.
Why am I like a seagull?
Think about the seagull's story. It's one of endurance and adaptation. The seaside was paradise once. They were birds of that paradise. Then their paradise became shit city. And what did they do? They became urban survivors, eating burgers out of trash cans, killing and eating pigeons.
Do seagulls eat pigeons? I want to know if seagulls eat pigeons.
No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done. They're one pair of track pants away from gangsters, just like you.
Hold on, have I ever eaten a burger out of the trash? I haven't either. There aren't really pigeons around here. There are seagulls, but I just kind of think of them as being the same thing, and hearing that seagulls would eat pigeons, I'm just like, but why? They're cousins, even if they're not. Hold on, have I ever eaten a burger out of the trash? Fucking right, whatever it takes to survive. I am the seagull! I guess I am a bit like the seagull, but I'm not like that. I'm still romantic. I'm gonna say we're still romantic.
Sure. Inside. But outside, it's a tough world. You've got to do whatever it takes to survive. And you do. Question is, will you admit that to yourself?
Okay, well, let
Good
me
boy.
reconsider.
Exactly. The seagull does what it takes, and so do you. You've got that same spirit in you. When the time comes, you push yourself.
The seagulls don't have... Maybe that is so the pigeons don't get eaten. It's weird to think of birds being eaten by other birds. I just think of them being eaten by cats occasionally. Oh my goodness, is there bird gentrification? Is there bird gentrification? I'm sorry, it's a seagull zone now. The pigeons have to get out of here. The housing prices have been driven up. The milkshake seagulls are the milkshake ducks of birds. Milkshake seagulls will totally eat anything they get near, so they could totally drink a milkshake if you put one near them, and then you know, you get a bird out. You get to see a bird drink a milkshake, and then then you're like, well, bird, that's cool that you drank a milkshake, and they start talking about they say, you know, I feel like some events in history have been exaggerated, and you're like, no, wait, don't start. And they say, like in the 1930s, and you're like, no, and you run away. Before they can continue that sentence and make a joke in very poor taste that would get them banned off of Twitch. I entered a streamer's Twitch stream the other day. I know, surprising, but when I went in, she was just saying, like, I'm not an actual transphobe. You need to go and like spend your time bothering the actual transphobes. I was just making a joke, and I was like, okay, and unfollowed, and just like, listen. I don't know what you said, but everything else you're saying does not sound good. Smells like tasty fermentation. Oh, this is the other murder victim I said we might do later. Or at least other death. Like, I don't want to do an autopsy right now. I'm trying to find some gloves, some gauntlets. But yeah, whenever you walk into something and they're like, I'm not the bad bigot, there are the real bad bigots. I'm not bigoted. I just used bigotry as a joke for fun. And that's why I am innocent. You're like, okay. I'll see you later. Or not. Yes. Yes, it is. It's exactly what they say. And then, like, she said some other stuff that made me go, before I'm like, yeah, okay, we're done here. And it was, I gotta be honest, it was mostly a thirst follow, because I'm what you call pathetic. Okay, let's look around here. This kind of looks like the tree from The Lion King. I know that's a really So these are corded headphones. If I touch them the wrong way, they cut. They're corded headphones. If I touch them, and if I touch them, they get cut. Guess who loves to tug on them? Who loves to just jump, claw, and bite and yank? It's not my mother, and it's not the dogs, though they sometimes like knock them out by accident. But that's fine. They're big and clumsy. Man, I tried to go to the bathroom today, and my older dog, Shelby, she's 14 years old, she likes to lay in the bathroom right by the doorway. And I needed to use the bathroom, and I begged her to try to move, and she was just like, no. she just kind of kept looking at me, and I pet her and tried to coax her out, and she's just like, I don't move, man. I don't move. Well, why are there people here? There are people. The number went up. Why? I was talking about embarrassing things. It went up to 5 people. Thanks, people. Oh, okay. Wow. Feels safe and warm in here, not like outside. Kid, you why did I didn't know this was a residence. I feel like I'm not gonna do anything bad, but like, kid, lock the door. But if you are that young, you might not be.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
She has a plushie, and then we say, that's a collectible. You don't deserve that Hatsune Miku doll. And we take it, because she doesn't understand the true value of a toy to be owned by somebody in his late 40s. That's what toys are for. and put in a box. Then put that box in a glass airtight container and show it off to people on the internet. And gain 30 followers on Twitter for our Hatsune Miku paraphernalia. And then as she cries, we're like, well, she was just going to ruin the toy anyway by enjoying it, and we were right all along.
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think someone hid them there.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
It's true. They can be stupid. Yes, but somebody else stole them there. Like put them there. I don't think she's strong or tall enough to take them from the hanging corpse. Oh yeah, she lifts her stuffed toy up and looks into its one remaining eye as though searching for confirmation. Damn, well, that could be a hand-me-down toy. But I was gonna say if she broke a part of it already.
Those gloves. It's for important police business.
I don't know if she knows what police are. She might.
Oh. They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good.
I'm sure you did your best.
Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom?
We can give the honest answer or the pervert answer. Yes, we met earlier. Or not really, but I'd like to. We're not going. We're going to. We're going.
That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything.
Aww.
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside.
She's just like, the twins are stupid, and it's like, are they your brothers? Yes. I really like the childlike path of thought that before she has to say that she thinks to tell me that they're her siblings. It's like, who are they? Oh, they're stupid is what they are. That's all they are to me right now is stupid.
They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart. They look identical.
Words are hard, kid. I understand. What's that? What's that bird?
It's a grouse.
Kids do just say things, and it's awesome.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you replace the broken scooter you almost certainly broke.
What's it for?
I don't know.
We shouldn't take... Okay, like, if we did this, we would be stealing from an adult woman whose child was just sitting around playing. Like, this would be an awful thing to do. But I don't know if it's the right... Like, I know it might be advantageous in some way, but, like, this kid does not own this thing. She's 4. She doesn't know what the value of the bird.
She twirls the furry doll around in the air, giggling happily.
That would be stealing.
You just need to grab it from the ceiling and go.
No.
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like...
Yeah, also, like, I know she's probably working, and that this is a village of, like, 30 people, so it's not that much to worry about. But if there's, like, a stranger going around, just a couple of cops, you should probably go and pick up your 4-year-old and keep her in sight. Make her play with her brothers so you can make the brothers be not awful for a little bit, so you can watch them all at once.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Lammy looks soft.
Yes. Very soft.
Press your cheek against Lammy.
Isn't he soft?
He heals you. She's right. Lammy is very soft. She rubs the white fur against her cheek, then returns the lamb into her lap, cuddling it.
Bye.
Yeah, no, we're not robbing children today. Anything else in the house? No, that's it. We can steal the grouse and we can, like, be weird to a kid. Let's not do those things. Hey, kid, can I have that shit in your house? And they're like, okay. And then it's like, that was where I hid the money, the mother says. That was the savings to fix our house. Every winter, our chances of survival go down. You've killed this 4-year-old. And then she hunts you down. I have not seen the Lammy thing. Recovers HP. I hit a button by accident. Okay, well, she is right over here, so I guess the house is in her sight. You think, you know, if I saw this dude with this mustache and a trench coat. Oh, okay. That's a good result. But like, if you go in this house, this dude in a trench coat goes into your house, I think it would be better if the mother just ran over and said, "Get out of my house, stay away from my kid." Even if you're nice to her. I think that would make sense. Now, let's try to talk to these children again.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
I forgot the other option I didn't pick was children are stupid.
Yes.
Yeah, especially if the kid is like 4, you know, like can't read or really reason or anything. I remember one time I was like 11 or 12 or something. My mother's friend came over and knocked on the door and waved to me. And I had never met her before. So I just walked up to the door, locked it, and went upstairs. And and I was like, nope. I was like, I've seen the news. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not opening the door for this lady. Yes, the later on she was like, he did lock me up, but that's the right thing to do, and so good for him. And she's like, I'm not dangerous.
Yes.
That's it. You're being laconic about it.
It doesn't look like he knows what that means.
I don't know why the only thing I had to say, like, I know the word laconic, but like these kids are like what, 6 or 7. They're not gonna know laconic, man.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Like, I don't know. I feel like this guy feels like, you ever meet those people, some adults, and you're like, man, you got like no grasp on kids, dude. You don't know what this kid is gonna. You have no idea what kids this age think like, or the stages they're going through at all, do you? Because like, I remember one of the last things I ever got from my stepdad's parents was former stepdad's parents was like, they gave us Valentine's cards with Franklin on them, and I was like 13 or 14, and I was like, why did they give us these? And I'm the younger one, and my brother's like 15 or 16 at this point. He's like, I don't know, man. And because he was getting ready to, like, he was like, man, I want to be able to drive soon. And he got this Valentine's card from his step-grandmother with Franklin the Turtle on it. And I'm like, I think he's a little too old for this. I'm like, I think I'm also a little too old for this. And my mother's like, well, you have to call them and say thank you. I'm like, I don't even know if she knows how old we are, man. It's like, here, have this Power Ranger. Thanks. I'm kind of doing my college entry exam. Like, I'm filling out my college application forms right now, but thanks for the Power Ranger story. Yeah. Some, like, your extended family generally knows, like, can only keep, like, 3 things in mind about you at once, I believe. And like, like they, my grandmother once bought me, like, for Christmas, she gave me a jar of pickles, because I like pickles when I was little. Like, I didn't stop liking them or anything, but it's a weird Christmas gift. And then, she got me, book 5 in a Christian fantasy book series. I had not read the previous 4 books, so I did not read the 5th one. I was entirely lost within the first 3 pages. I was like, I don't know any of this, man. I'm not gonna go and buy more books. I have not been. Oh, hi. I'm sorry, kitty cat. I have not been given a I have not been given a Pez dispenser since I was maybe 9 years old, but, like, it's a weird gift to give an adult. I know that it might be a bit weird to be like, your aunt just, like, got some Pez dispensers and she's like, the kids would love these. Does Pez have, like, something in it, like, like meat products, like animal byproducts, like they have in gelatin or something? Oh, okay. I haven't had Pez in a long with adult taste buds, so I don't know how good they are. I remember when in, like, in book club in high school, and I was like, to my friend, I was like, do you not want the jelly beans? She's like, they're not. She's like, they're not vegetarian friendly. I was like, they're not? And she's like, no, they have gelatin in them. And it was like, gelatin? And she's like, yeah, it's made from, like, animal fat that, like, lines their intestines or something. And it was like, what? And I'm like, she's like, yeah. I was like, whoa. And I was like, I kind of assumed jelly beans were just, like, made of human alchemy. And I'm like, and she's like, nope, and it comes from inside, like, a pig or something. And I was like, or at least part of it does. And I'm like, whoa, hardcore. Like, whenever people say, oh, it's not natural, that thing, and I'm like, where do you think, do you know that everything is natural, right? Yeah, they kind of just shove it in there. This carrot was synthesized in a lab out of things from another dimension where everything is robots. And it's like, oh, it's like, you know that, like, everything on Earth comes from Earth, you know? And it's like, oh, what if it came from, I don't know, space? It's like, where do you think the Earth is? You think space is, like, unnatural? You think it was made by something else? Like, whatever you think made the Earth, you think it's special and different from the rest of space? Other than, like, being... Like, the Earth's primary special trait is that it's Goldilocks. It's at the just right temperature. I could talk to these children. I could talk to this old woman. I have to look behind her house to kick the sandcastle down. That's what I have to do. I was busy talking. Oh, is this the sandcastle? I didn't even know this was a sandcastle.
To Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
I really like that he appraises the castle with, like, respect. He's like, ah, yes, I see Dracula's castle. And
The little castle? The reigning lord must have come upon some really tough times to let it sleep in such decrepitude.
I really like that they're both just like showing the castle respect. Also, it's messed up whenever sandcastles fall apart and you're like, that's garbage. I worked on that.
Walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
I am 1 point away from leveling up. 1 point. I don't know what noises I'm making, but I'm making them. Are these key items? Oh, wow. I don't know if you want to wear these. Clenching and unclenching your fist has never been so fun. The tiny ceramic plates make a lovely little clicking sound when your fingers move. The gloves are a bit sandy, but the grip is phenomenal. What do these gloves do? Okay, so these are just better than my current gloves. Okay. They're exactly the same, but better. And they look awesome. I don't know. If you think about it, we're made of dead people.
As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize you could knock anyone out with one punch. The white ceramic gloves wrap around your digits comfortably.
I would be, I don't know if it affects you more, like, in-game? Possibly. Real life? No. But I wouldn't blame anyone for being spooked by it.
Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions.
Yeah, yeah, like, what are we gonna say? The sand clean them? But, I will be responsible with this. This is just to protect me from harm, not to show off. Decked out in future armor, like a cop ought to be. So this might lead us to a RoboCop type thing. Oh, so I watched that 10-hour review of Cyberpunk 2077. And there were arguments. There was one dude in the arguments about Cyberpunk 2077. So the reviewer, Tim Rogers, who will henceforth always be referred to as Tim Rogers, his full name. Guess what? If you look that name up, it leads up to like a bunch of different people, including like a cult leader or something. So I was really confused for a little bit when I Googled him. But there, Tim Rogers is a very common name. But there was one dude. So he said the first thing he did in Cyberpunk, the first crime he committed, was to murder a cop because he ended up right next to a cop early on, and then he had to like fight, and then he died and whatnot. But and then he's like, it turns out that you do have to do missions for cops. They're like an entire thing of missions, and he's like, and that's not very cyberpunk. And he's like, and people have had conversations about this, and one dude on the internet said, like, lots of cyberpunk things have cops in them. Like, one of the most famous cyberpunk stories, RoboCop, is about a cop. And he's like, I don't know what to say to this man other than he clearly did not understand RoboCop. He's like, RoboCop is a satire. The cop is built by a corporation that owns the police force. It's not supposed to be good. The cop is not supposed to be an aspiration.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and voluptuous, adds
Yes.
a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step.
But
Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you.
he talked about, for like, I want to say like 90 minutes, about what cyberpunk is. And he says, he basically put it succinctly, cyberpunk is the first thing you encounter that is kind of cyberpunk-y. That's the main type of cyberpunk. And the other type of cyberpunk is everything else you encounter afterward that is different. Because the genre just is kind of futuristic stuff that is kind of dystopian / sad with a dark undertone. And it can be tons of different things.
You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability.
One down, 2 pieces to go, here I come. This gear could line my pockets with cash. I could probably sell it to some other cops. This is the long sought after enemy technology. I can't just enjoy it. I must study it.
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design.
So yeah, T500 is probably named after a Terminator, but things that are cyberpunk is basically whatever is just like sci-fi, but kind of not clean and kind of not ideal. And yeah, it's not easy to quite it's more of a feeling than a genre at this point. But
For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
what if you want to hear an intensely nerdy video game argument I had with somebody, I said I thought that one mechanical system from Devil May Cry was cool, and that I wish that a mechanical system in Kingdom Hearts was more like it. And they said, well, Kingdom Hearts is an RPG, and Devil May Cry is a hack and slash. I'm like, and I was like, okay, first of all, why does that just mean that, no, it can never be like that? It's different. It cannot take anything from anything else because it is different. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with it. And I was like, and also, the games are very similar in tone and in combat. There are many similarities. But it's just like, no, it can't be like it. It's different. Was something that to this day bothers me. Should I add conceptualization or Inland Empire? Should I add to it, or should I add another thought? Add another thought slot. The Shamrock Shuffle. I think the narrator in this game is one of the best narrators in video games. Yeah, punk and like, if you play 3 different Final Fantasy games, you are going to see entirely different genres of what fantasy is. Like, people say, like, yes, yeah, it's like, because, okay, so in Kingdom Hearts 2, there's a thing called drive, and that's how you transform and power up. In Devil May Cry, there's a mechanic called Devil Trigger that you use to transform and power up. And in Devil May Cry, when you turn it off, you either costs 1 unit to turn it on, or nothing to turn it off, or 1 unit to turn it on. Sorry, 1 unit to turn it off and nothing to turn it on. And then he's like, well, Kingdom Hearts is different, and I was just like, and because in Kingdom Hearts it costs 3 to 5 units to turn something on, and then if you turn it off, whatever you use to turn it on is just gone. And I was like, I would rather be able to turn it off and on a little bit more. And also, there is every time you use one of the first 3 forms, you gain a point goes into a counter. And it's like 10 points for the first 2, and like 5 for the third, and then 0 for the fourth. And then for the fifth one is something you are not guaranteed to get. It's a random chance thing, but you can finagle it to make it so you get it. And when you use the fifth one, it resets the counter to 0. Now that counter is a percentage chance that when you try to transform, it just won't work, and you will transform into a completely different form, and you will not be able to heal or exit that form, and all of your allies will be gone, and you cannot block either, and you can't use items, you can't use magic, and all you can do is attack and jump and dash around. So, I hate that. It drives me crazy. It drives me absolutely nuts. Because certain boss fights, they multiply that chance to 100%. Even if you have made sure to empty out the counter, they will just make it so if you transform and you are not using the fifth form, which you only get in the last level of the game, meaning that like there are bosses where it's just like, no, you're not allowed to use the form. You're not allowed to transform or power up during this boss fight. And I'm like, but I'm a weeb. I want to transform when fighting the boss because that's what they do in anime. It's what it's for, right? And then they're like, no, it's a challenge. You tried to power up while fighting the final this climactic boss, so you're being punished. And my friend was like, another friend was like, you've been using it too much, I guess. And I was like, I haven't used it in like 5 hours. The timer doesn't go down with time, it goes down with use. And Devil May Cry does not have that. Your transformation has no oops, no, it's not allowed. If you can't do it, you just can't start it up at all. And I wish that it was a little bit more like that, so it wouldn't just be like, Sometimes when you, like what if when you tried to start a car, sometimes it just sprayed ink in your face. And if you tried to drive your car too much, I'm like, that doesn't help at all. And it's like, oh yeah, and it especially does it on freeways. And I'm like, but that's stupid, and I don't like it. Anyway, that is my rant on why I think drive form is really annoying sometimes for no real reason. Just you try to, kick up the gears. You use your brakes too many times today. Sorry, you try to hit the brakes, the car is on fire now. And they're like, all you can do is accelerate and turn, get good. And it's like, oh, you've been using it too much? I'm back. I was no longer So the cable is heavy and it keeps falling down. So I'm trying to put it behind behind something now so it won't keep falling down. Yeah, yes, the mic. I kind of feel like I should put one into conceptualization or Inland Empire, but savoir faire is pretty low. Like it's got a strong negative on it. And so is perception. I feel like perception could really help. Also, maybe we should do composure, just as a shout out to the king. These are pretty good, though. Okay, so this is like stealth. I think maybe there's no bonus. Okay, I do have a bonus for this. These are all good, so maybe I should more muscle. Let's get even thinkier. Okay, brain cells. My brain is growing. Tummy long. What time is it in game? Find the murder weapon. Okay, 4.46 ammo. Boots. Oh, okay. Kim has to be absent. Across the canal. Yeah, I don't know where Morel is. But you know what? There's something more important than all that. Oh, I should also probably save. Yeah, I have not been trained in the use of my brain cells. They have tried, but I don't think it's taken. Something more important than the case. I'm trying to get it to work. There we go.
Yes?
Oh no, I'll try this later. 17% chance. Okay.
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
We'll work better together if we have more rapport. Come on, Lieutenant, open up a little. You're right. What is there to know about a lame binocular? Like, I love how we... A group project. That I told my group because they are... That if they gave... Sorry, it's just that there's a text limit on the screen and I can... Like... Oh, they basically didn't. Oh, boy.
That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
Yeah, you might have to fight some people in your class, Ace. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. Group. Yeah, I don't know what it is with group projects that, like, they always say, like, oh, power is the true test of a man and stuff. And, no, it's group projects. They continue to not do anything. Ignore me, and then I have to do boy. What day is it? It's Thursday, isn't it? Oh, boy. Well, it might be Friday now. Have you I know it's looked upon poorly in class, but there's always the good old bus toss, Just toss them right under the bus if the teacher asks. Yeah. Yeah, there's the good old bus toss, because honestly, in group projects, if it turns into everyone for themselves, you gotta fight for yourself. And like this was their choice, and if they chose to leave you in the lurch, then you might as well drag them down with you and climb up over their corpses. Why not? Because if you're gonna screw me, it, you're wearing glasses.
That's correct.
That makes him a Beano-clad, completely uncocked material, if you say so yourself.
Okay, wow, you have a bully response. Yeah, the left on read, or not even like hasn't been read, like message received hasn't been read. Like, I remember when my friend during a group project, I was like, your email, and he read it. He read the email, the message, in front of the class during the presentation with like his part of the script. And he's like, oh, and he turned to me and said, oh shit, you worked on this. Oh boy.
Are they? They're mostly just cumbersome.
Oh man. Oh, we oh, this is a bad choice, but it's the only way. This I don't know, Ace. It seems like everything at your school sucks, except you might have a couple of cool teachers. And I would understand if you used one of those glass torches to set someone on fire. You shouldn't do that, but I would understand if you did. I don't know if that person, this is even your glass class that you're talking about, but I think a lot of your classmates might kind of suck.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting. You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholier. No.
It's a seminar class on craft history. It's not important, but okay. But
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure it has something to do with the lieutenant's eyebrow.
I'm gonna make a One Piece joke that you probably won't understand, but I'm gonna say that Kim Kitsuragi has Conqueror's Haki. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what seminar classes are like. I'm assuming you sit there and write, and then in class as the professor talks every day, and then every couple weeks the professor's like, now you talk too, and then you have to talk about the thing.
It's like you're locked down.
Something the matter, detective?
Oh, okay.
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands.
Oh, I'm failing.
The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
Okay. I've never been... Well, I've walked into universities and colleges before. I've just never properly attended one.
What do you mean?
You know, when you're thinking, do you ever have like
I have
conversations
no
with
idea
your brain?
what you're talking about.
So you're never saying your brain just chimes in with advice or warnings or anything?
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
Whenever people are like, "Oh yeah, good choice," my friend's like, "You made the right choice by not doing anything in high school." I'm like, I don't know, dude. You're married and you have a kid and a job and a house. I feel like you made some pretty decent choices. And he's like, I don't know. He's just,
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
No.
Your brain said it's like you're locked.
Something the matter?
What's going on?
I
It's like
can't do
the
it. I
lieutenant
can't
relaxes his
overcome it.
eyebrow.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul. One you should be ashamed of. It's no wonder the soft one doesn't want it back. It was right to abandon you.
I don't know if I'll ever go. My dad tries to nag me to go to college, and every time I respond negatively by either going and just turning into a brick wall, or just not responding at all for weeks after. He's like, "You should go to college," and he has now turned to the tactic of telling my mother to tell me to go to college. And and she's like, "I'm not doing that." And then she told me that that's what he's trying to do, and I'm like, and she told her coworker about it. She's like, "He wants to try to tell a 25-year-old to go to school." Art history caused the most stress and the most work, and I'm not even doing this for this. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, school is a lot. Everything in college seems incredibly specific or vague, and vague at the same time. Like, it's like, oh, I'm a literature major, and it's just like, that's like what kind of literature? English literature. I'm like, well, that's still like 2 million things. And then they're like, we read a lot of Shakespeare and stuff. I'm like, okay, so like classical literature. And I'm like, it's like, oh, okay. And they're like, what did you learn? And they're like, I don't fucking know. I'm like, oh, okay. And then it was like, how much did that cost? And they're like, don't talk to me about that. It hurts too much. Yeah. It's kind of like when people I hated the way they always taught us how to analyze literature in school. I can't see what that says. That's for kids. It wouldn't hold the weight of a grown man. Okay.
What do you see?
But like the way they'd have you do it was just by like everybody write what they think about the thing and do it in an organized, and everybody has to write I don't know about you, but they always had us do like 5 9-sentence paragraphs or whatever, or like 3 9-sentence paragraphs in the middle, and then like 2 5-sentence ones at the beginning, at the end, and the end. And I'm like, do you really think that everybody should write one way to express their thoughts, and that everybody should write to express their thoughts? It's like, oh, this is an English class. I'm like, yeah, you can speak English. Art is such a general thing. Like it's a concept and whatnot. So it's really hard to just just describe it. And somebody's like, oh, art is something that is a work that makes you feel something. I'm like, damn, more muffins with butter are art. And then somebody once messaged Hideki Kamiya about saying, like, you make art, and he's he has directed many video games, many of which have been highly praised critically, like Devil May Cry, Okami, Resident Evil 2, and whatnot. And they're like, oh, you make art, and he's like, no, I don't. I make video games. And he's like, I don't do art. And I was like, well, damn. Just call someone an artist, and they're like, no. It's very funny. I don't know what international relations would be either. Like, I know what it means, but I don't know what you do. Like, how do you study international relations in any sort of way that's both comprehensive and helpful? Because, like, it's like, oh yeah, they're just like, what, closing in on 8 billion people with over 200 nations. And, here's how you talk to some of them from this one. But I feel like the funniest way to study international relations would just be to go into a Discord server. I think that's way funnier. Have I ever told you about one time I was in a Discord server I was in a Skype group on a call because Discord didn't exist yet. And back when we had to use Skype, the thing that sucks. Asian studies minor, but now that I put it, just English language teaching, and they're like, how are you? I wish there wasn't a text limit. I want to read what you're saying. That's why I wanted to stream this in my room, so I could read the what you said. But the PS5 said no. I'm gonna go interact with it. Oh no, he took the dead body down. I'm gonna talk to Kuno, see what he has to say.
Kuno's dad? Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
How are you qualified, and what will help you in this program and help you in your career? But, like, I'm an art major. Yeah. But you could just say that teaching English and developing a shared, or like one half of a shared experience in international relations will help you to appreciate Japanese art from a new perspective. And you could be like, oh, so this is how that works. Like, I don't know. Most of the things you need, like, the best
Just
skill you can gain in life might be lying. But, yeah. Just that's what, like, like, just say things.
Yeah. Why? It's a wall. An ordinary wall.
I got... Oh, it's true.
Why must we stop to look at this wall every time we pass by? We have business to attend to.
Leave me alone, Kim. Yeah. That's one thing I know from I've learned is that the Japanese government is faultless. I don't know if there's anytime I look at a country, I'm like, how's the government there? And they're like, it sucks. And I'm like, good to know.
Trying to sneak up on me again? Trying to snuff me out? Get away, pig!
Oh, I'm sorry, Kuno. Yeah. I don't mean like lie, but like not like outright seek to deceive, but embellish what you have, how, like, talk yourself into sounding important, and that it will be a true artistic experience, even if it's more that Japan is cool and you want to be there. Because everybody thinks Japan is cool and wants to be there these days. It's quite a popular country. Oh no, video games and anime, what did they do to us? Oh my god, I just realized Delta Logistics Company stands for DLC. But, I just, like, whenever they're like, write us a thing for why you should be allowed to X, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I want to, and everybody tells me I should, and I'm tired. And I think it would be cool. Can I hit this guy yet?
Looking for something, odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Not allowed to hit you. No, I'm trying to talk to you.
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you?
Have you tried telling them that you're 24 and that you should not be expected to continue the work of building international relationships? It's like, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like I shouldn't be responsible for that. I'm not gonna be awful or anything, but kind of feel like, you know, you shouldn't. It's like, why should you, as a single student, be expected to represent the third largest country on the planet? It's like, and then you went there and you ruined the... It's like, oh, you ruined the international relations. History book. The history books. Oh yeah, a college student went there. And then it all went downhill from there. I don't think that's ever going to be the case. Close the country. Stop having it be open, says Japan after a visit from a single student.
It's you again. What is it?
Okay. Oh, he had to do the animation. I was just staring at the text box waiting for stuff to happen.
Oh, hello, dear. I didn't notice you at first. What wonderful news. Thank you, dear. You've already done so much. But if your investigation happens to take you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband. And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired. And it's cold out there. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
I love that Kim hates the cryptids no matter how you try to talk.
Can I help you?
Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
I'm really, dude, I feel like the government should pay for this if I'm a government worker, right?
Again? I can't believe this shit.
He shakes his head, looking like he really is having trouble believing this shit. Who is this guy?
I'm not getting involved in this.
I love this guy.
Yes? What is it?
That's such a mean name for her. Oh, I forgot about this. I'm just doing it again for fun.
Raising 2 children and half a husband on a patrol officer's wage? Yes, I guess I am working class. No. Okay, sort of. But not with you. Like you are now. Don't take this the wrong way.
Oh, I love this game.
What precinct?
Fucking deranged lunatic.
I love that you could say, are you by any chance working class? Like that's how human beings talk to each other.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
I love that you could just say stay masculine is I love games where it's just, where like a good portion of it is just be weird. It's not that class solidarity means nothing. And it's just that I think that I, as a person, have ruined any way of her wanting to work with me by being a deranged alcoholic for years. Yes, you can be very weird. I'm thinking that after I somehow finish this playthrough, I will do an evil playthrough on PS5. I'll probably stream that too, because why not? Please, okay. I made it. Possibly. Maybe I should just go and do the autopsy on that other body, or maybe I should look for her husband. Because, like, I know my goals are talk to Klasia again, which, I don't feel like is a good option at this point. I feel like it hasn't been nearly long enough. But, there's that. There's investigate that dead body. Hey kids, you want to see a dead body? And, then there's, also the United States 2016, November 2016, fascism time. I still remember how angry I was at my friend when I was like, who did you vote for? And he said, Gary Johnson. then he was like, oh, he's the what do you call it, the libertarian candidate who's gotten the most votes ever in the history of the Libertarian Party. And I was like, do you think it's because he's the best libertarian there's ever been? Or do you think perhaps it was people like you who couldn't choose the lesser of two evils? I did not say that, but I thought it, and I thought it very hard and angrily. Let's do a little look-see to see if we can find her husband. I don't know, like, what the point, like, not what the point, but like they heard that somebody saw a cryptid here. Yeah, we're joking and not taking it serious. Oh, I voted as stupid text limit as a joke. I'm like, you know, things you do have an effect, right? It's not a high school like council election. It's in fact important. I wish that, like, maybe they could do the Twitter thing of being like, uh-oh, you hit the limit. But there isn't actually a limit. Or the limit is what... Yeah. I have no idea where this dude would go to search for the cryptid. The unfortunate news is Canadians are not all that smart either. Oh, apparently Vancouver is cut off from the rest of the country by flooding right now. So that's neat. It's not neat at all. It's terrifying. But that I don't know how to express myself healthfully anymore. Did you ever see that thing, Ace, where Hideo Kojima promised, he's like, oh, I won't make a game about, I won't make a game about a pandemic or any serious world issues again. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scar people like this. And I didn't mean that it would. I didn't know that it would happen. And it seemed like Kojima was apologizing for possibly having a hand in the pandemic. And I'm like, I know you think a lot of yourself, Kojima, but I don't think you did this. Or after that, a big earthquake in Japan, he just tweeted and said, I'm fine, don't worry. Oh, God. Oh. It's like, well, what about the other 80 million people? Kojima, what about that? Oh, I made it further to the... Oh, okay, can I... Look at this. This is like a... Can I not climb up? Oh, come on. Walking is extremely difficult. I made it down here. Just generally explain. 6 to 8 pages. What if you do what Tim Rogers does and talk for like 4 hours about things that are related to your experience in writing the project, and then just be like, no, it's context. I'm giving you context. Nothing has ever happened without context, and in giving you context, I'm giving you greater understanding. And if I let you have a shallow understanding, it would be irresponsible. Have you considered holding your partner's family hostage? Okay, I think I found her husband. Because he's just digging at the dirt. Looking for... I don't even remember what the cryptid was, because that was like 5 months ago. I'm sorry, I haven't streamed this nearly as much as I should have. I'm sorry.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
He's Australian.
On the ground, in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary.
The crypto-fascist? Hold on. No. Crypto-fascist. Let's go back to that. I've seen them on the internet before. That makes it sound like he's not real. The crypto-fascist. Well, the crypto.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Your wife wants you to come home, dude.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
We can lie. Yeah, it was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now. You can go back.
You broke the water lock with a motor carriage? There was a billboard in the canal, not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
No, it was all me. I caused your delay, and I'm sorry, but you can return.
Did he say we can go back now?
I can't.
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
There's like 8 feet between, like 12 feet between you guys. You don't have to shout that loud. You're outside, and there's...
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we go in.
His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work.
Your wife misses you, dude.
I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps.
Go home!
My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
She's seen it?
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine. Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
His spirit may be willing, but his body might be too old to endure the rigors of the coast.
Oh no! The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sitting tea at the hostel?
Oh no, that's fine. Ace, don't worry about it. I don't know, you're just like, please give me the things and then I'll do everything for you. And they're like, I'm super fucking busy.
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
Oh my god, are we gonna do it for
Hmm.
him?
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it. Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
That... Nothing is more tiring to me when people are just like, it's fine, no matter what you say.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case. It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen. I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
seems puny, to be honest.
So I have been joined. We have a co-host. You want to say hello? He might bite the microphone. I'm sorry. I don't know how intense that sound will be, and I apologize if it is. He's just kind of making himself comfortable on me right now. Hello, buddy.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply
he's just standing on my leg,
sniffing
sniffing at stuff.
Phasmid would be the apex of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He is purring. If he comes closer, you might hear it. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here.
Would be glory itself.
Come here, Levi.
I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts. Not
okay,
yet.
he purred really close to
That's
the microphone. I don't know if it came through, but oh, hey, no bite. Okay, he. Hey, he made a little chirp. No, stop biting it.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
Sorry, cleaning off the microphone.
I know it's real. By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian Phasmid is more than mere superstition.
He is indeed a big baby.
The most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically.
I haven't seen any teenagers.
It's the first credible sighting in several decades, Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
They might have just seen a stick, dude.
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
We can go parthenogenesis, or got it, parthenosis.
Yes, the females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
We can say that's pretty clever. Females reproducing without males. A travesty, a crime against passion and common sense. Or, this arouses no special feelings in me.
Yes, Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I try my best to remain dispassionate.
These bugs have figured out the secret of immaculate conception.
There's
They've
nothing
done it.
dispassionate about the way he talks about the insect.
Tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick. Yes. Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out.
That's how literally every trap works.
At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
Locusts.
Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Yes. What? I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
That's incredible. Respect to that species of salamander. They just say, hey, I'm gonna borrow this, and then say, actually, I don't need all of it, don't worry. Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar. Chaos is my method. I am its scion. I'm all in with this cryptid shit. I'm hooked. Continue to reproduce asexually.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence. There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them... You
I'm never
should
gonna
check at least
remember all
one
this.
of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
What, aren't you having fun, Kim?
Even relative to examining a week-old corpse, I'm not sure mucking about in the reeds qualifies as fun. But have it your way, detective.
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
So was the species of salamander ever like what do you call it? I can't think of it. Dimorphous species, or has it always been a single-sex species? Because if so, respect. Did they come from another species and then just refuse to produce males, or did they run out of males at some point and decide they didn't need them?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
Did you hear that? Pheromones. You were right about the teenagers.
Oh, I doubt there is any connection there. Anyway, these pheromones will attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Should last you about a week.
Lay it on me.
Wise choice.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. It dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Finally! Someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt. What about his eager-to-leave friend Gary there? Talk to him too, perhaps.
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
Man, animals are cool. Like all different species, and they're. I like it when they're just like, this animal species just refuses to be like others because. I also have an animal just sleeping on me right now. I don't know if the mic can pick that up, but he's just purring away.
It's not child's play, just because I have to trade through the mud every so often. Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does. Indeed, my methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Your nerve endings tell you there is no such thing as a positive surprise.
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
That line is completely different from what's written.
Interesting. Something for later, this close call.
Yeah, I'm guessing that there are some students who will try to feed the squirrels and stuff.
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the Phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
I love the way this guy says Phasmid. But if there are crows, you know what that means. You can train them. That squirrel's your friend now. It's your new roommate.
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid. Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
But, like, if you do befriend crows, you can turn them into your gang. You know.
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Hugo Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere.
Okay, so we have an extinct species of primate and a salamander. Out of 4,000.
We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
2 out of 4,000 isn't even 1%. And the Insulindian phasmid will be the 3rd. I don't even know what to say. That's a small number of discoveries.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. Sounds like reeds hissing.
Yes? All right. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it. Since you've offered to help, you need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena, or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
Mm-hmm.
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialist would find rather dull.
Willow
They're
people?
not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees.
Sorry, Levi. Triple.
They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here. You probably have. Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself.
This dude... I know this dude really cares. And that it might be, in fact, be a very important scientific endeavor. But he also just sounds crazy at some point. It's like, how did you almost catch this tree person, you ask? He's like, I painted a forest with my friend Gary. With everything in bright purple. And then we hoped that we would find the tree person who couldn't turn invisible anymore because it was covered in paint. That was the goal. so that he could paint a tree person. How would you feel if someone got paint on you, Moreau?
After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove.
That could have very easily been that you got, like, paint on a squirrel, dude.
I chased it with a net, Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it's faster than me.
Lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on fanny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone than to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined.
Yes, it's way easier.
Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
I do love that he's just like, yeah, it might have been a squirrel. I might have just seen a squirrel. He's like, it might have just been light reflecting weirdly. Oh. There might not be tree people, or at least you might not have seen the tree person. Like your Ent search has gone poorly.
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting. Formerly the most dangerous, yes. But do you know the most dangerous living cryptid?
Formerly the most dangerous. It's myself, my neighbor's dog look like a wolf hangs on a pig's body, and it's just then it's just being a stubby fat corgi or something, or a Shiba Inu. Oh, I don't know. I think that like there should be a comic strip series about a Shiba Inu and a corgi being best friends. I think that needs to happen.
The most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant, known colloquially as the dread moose.
The dread moose?
Yes. The dread moose subsists entirely on flesh. It has even been known to dig up fresh graves in search of sustenance.
Okay, how would a moose dig up a grave? They have hooves. They can't dig. It's a moose. Like they can't use their antlers. They may have just found there may have just been a moose with a rotting brain. Like it might have just had rabies or something. Does it also attack people?
Remains have been found deep in the forest, torn apart, then trampled into the mulch by large hooves. Infer from that what you will.
It got attacked by a bear, and then there were deer or moose that walked across it, or they had been murdered. Oh man, this. Oh, yes, like
just like an ordinary Arden moose.
What does your magic moose look like? Like a regular moose. This really does seem a lot like make-believe. Like kids playing around and being like, that's not a regular moose. It's the dread moose. And the other kid's like, holy crap. They're like, don't say that, that's a bad word. And one time when I was about 17, I was with my cousins and my aunt, and there was like they were making a fire, and like there was a spark and it got on me, and I wiped my hand off and put it in the water, and I said, damn it. And then my cousin, who was like maybe 9 at the time, was like, and pointed at me and said to his mother, yes, that moose probably just does have a disease. Like, I don't think that's an entirely new species. But, like, he's like, he said a bad word, he's in trouble now. And my aunt was just like, it's fine. And he's like, why is it fine when he says bad words? He's like, he's almost an adult. It's fine. It's fine. It's this 9-year-old boy. He's like, how come he can say the bad words? It's like, I don't care, says the mother.
You can't. That's what makes it so dreadful and hard to identify.
Oh, this is a really hard choice. I'm not completely sure about this dread moose, and I am 100% behind the dread moose. I utterly believe it exists.
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece of physical evidence. There's more.
Yeah. I'm gonna pretend that one of those little cousins is Graham.
The recent surge in the moose population has hidden carnivores. The dread moose are effectively removing competition for both themselves and their evolutionary cousins.
Okay, wait. So... yes. He turned 26 shortly before he turned 24. But he might... You don't know, he might be 8. Why... okay, so hold on. There are a lot more moose now, and they're saying that maybe the dread moose is killing other competition for moose. Like, the dread moose is responsible for the... Like, this could easily be explained by, like, urban sprawl. Like, we've destroyed habitats, and moose are bigger and hardier, so they have thrived in this where the other species haven't. Isn't that also an explanation? That, like, oh yeah, the squirrels have lost their homes, but the deer can just live in the street, it's fine.
Moose are already being hunted for sport. Can you imagine what would happen if they came to be viewed as predators?
How would the moose know that? How? I love this dude being 100% serious about it is the best. But, like, how would the moose know about being hunted and coordinate as a subspecies of ardent moose to know to blend in so that they wouldn't be hunted by humans, to avoid their populations being purged, to being culled, to maintain ecosystem? Like, it requires them to have a weird conspiratorial thought process too.
The carnivorous moose are a very young species, the result of a genetic mutation that fared well in the process of natural selection.
I mean, like, moose are pretty strong. Like, they're really strong.
Animal with natural weapons, antlers, would come to rule the forest. The only strange thing is that it took so long.
It's because they're moose. They're grazing animals. They just eat stuff on the ground. Why would they need to become carnivores? They're moose. Oh, we've been talking to this dude for like 40 minutes.
One slaughterhouse at the outskirts of the woods in Vasa reported that its staff kept seeing moose in the distance.
It's because they're at the outskirts of the woods and they saw moose. Also, the idea of just, oops, I accidentally made the moose carnivore is excellent. Thank you.
The moose would just stare at the building, as though they were waiting for something. Its eyes bloodshot and full of cruelty.
You can't just say that moose looked evil and expect me to buy it. Like, the moose could have just been sick. And saying, oh man, the moose had eyes full of cruelty. I'm not sure if you know this, but there are 6 Devil May Cry games. 5 main ones. They can't even eat hay? Like oh man. And there's like, oh, it evolved to eat like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to, raccoons? Like, it's such a, but like, there is they can't eat, wow. This is such a stretch. But, the 6th for the Forbidden Devil May Cry game was made in Europe by in the UK, and it was because they felt that they were not selling enough, and they decided to reboot the entire continuity with brand new characters that were similar to the previous ones, but just throw the entire existing previous universe in the trash and try to make something new. And they wanted it to be edgy and Western so that it would appeal to a broader / American audience. Yes, that was the idea. And in that, there's a point where you are fighting a host of the Raptor News Network, who has a terrible comb over and is 100% legally distinct from Bill O'Reilly. Yes, Bill O'Reilly is a boss in DMC Devil May Cry, basically. And you have to kill him on the news. But while it goes on, there's narration like of you being taken down by by false reports by Fox News, and there's one point where one of the lady they're like interviewing 2 young women about a sighting of this other Dante being a murderer, and they're like, oh, he told this woman that like he would kill her, and then like he did. It was terrifying. And then the other one's like, I swear he almost killed me. He looked at me right in the eyes, and I swear he had pedophile eyes. and just like the phrase pedophile eyes is so funny. That's what the eyes full of cruelty makes me think of. Just like, he had pedophile eyes. It's like, that's a lot to tell from the eyes. That's that. Yes. You need, without the power of the Sharingan, you cannot look into their soul and see how pedophilic their eyes are. Yes, and then that game came out, and it is the worst-selling Devil May Cry game to date. And then after that, Devil May Cry 5 came out, and the other DMC was thrown in the trash. And they brought back the old continuity and the old characters, and they were like, sorry. And it was like 1, 2, 3, and 4 made in Japan. I'm not sure I'm buying it.
But that's not all. Some of the slaughterhouse apprentices went hiking by a nearby creek and saw a moose nibbling on an unidentified carcass.
Okay, so that could just be one moose that's rabid.
This isn't something unique. Various species of deer have been known to scavenge when plant food is scarce.
Okay.
Anyway, there is more than enough evidence to justify a thorough search for the dread moose. Let's close the subject before it turns into an argument.
Like, there's reason to look to make... Like, I don't think there are killer moose out there, dude. I really don't think there are killer moose.
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence. By all means.
Yeah, dude, I don't think there are moose out there killing people. Like, sometimes animals get desperate and eat other things.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer.
I'm curious about the crypto and the fascist in
Yellow
your name.
man. I mean...
Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! Did you okay, you saw it? Oh my god! He just saw a half Asian man and just straight up called him Yellow Man. He, like, okay. Ace, have I ever told you about the one time where my friend was playing a strategy game with someone he met online, and then I joined the call because I wanted to play something else with him, and the game was almost wrapped up, and he talked to me and he said, "Wow, I've never spoken to a black person before." That's what this is. And if you are wondering if people ever do talk like this, yes they do, or they have spent more time imagining people of color than they have having any sort of contact with them. And then he's like, anyway, that guy said, anyway, I'll talk to you later, man. I gotta go feed my kid. Oh my god, I love and I was like, that man has reproduced that man has succeeded evolutionarily. That man is not the and this was like, this had to be like 8 or 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. Like, that kid would be in his teens now. Like, just like the thought that this man had this man whose immediate response to talking to a person of an ethnic group he'd never encountered before was just like, oh, I've heard of you people. I've never spoken to one of you before, in a very dehumanizing manner. I'm like, that man had presumably repeated sexual encounters? Really? I don't want to talk to that guy again, but I'd read his biography.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook.
Taking out his notebook is so menacing. Like, you're on the list.
Yellow Man. That sounds awfully familiar. Something to keep in mind for later.
Oh, he owns the mug.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization. I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here. Dark times will do that to good men.
Okay, so should we ask? Well, there are so many good questions to ask. This is the worst question. Every other question here is really good. Are we going for the mug of racism?
My mug? Why would you think that?
His eyes widen at the sight of the mug. He's seen it before, all right.
You said yellow man. That's not something people go around
Really?
saying.
I hear it all the time.
Oh,
All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone. Okay.
Yes!
I admit
I got him.
I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
That might not be I think it's a crime. I don't know.
You're not going to find me, are you?
Should Ace? Should we? Oh, yes, I am in love with the fact of how, like, I'm not in love with the fact that he has to purge it, but like the fact that he's like, I've seen a therapist, I'm down, I'm working on it. I'm like, you have a speech therapist to teach you not to say the N-word? I am okay, so what do you think if we're finding him? King, simply don't say it. Like, how, like, it sounds like the way he said it sounded like he's, like, addicted to it. Like, it's like, oh, I need to see a therapist to not put the needle in my arm. No, I'm finding you. I'm totally, but like, we can do 20 real, which is 1 night in a hotel. 100 real, which is 5 nights in the hotel. 250 real, which is more than we'll ever need, but fuck him. Maximum.
Oh, God. 250? How am I gonna pay that? Okay. I'll work harder. I'll pay it off. I promise. And I'll never do it again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
So that's another slur. He basically just used a slur against Polish people there. That's an in-universe slur. He just said, like, it's the fault of the... He's like, oh, it's the fault of, I don't know, X ethnic group.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
He's insulted. He has been racist to both of our people. I have more than one people.
Here we go.
I know we all. But how did you? You put the clothes of a... How did you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez, so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob.
That's another slur.
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Oh man, there was one point where my mother was like, basically like, saying something along the lines of like, I get a little bit of privilege, I have brown children, and I'm like, I don't think that's how it works, mother. Gary, did you put the clothes of a murdered victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling in rags, into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
It was the fascist! It was the fascist!
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Yes, what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags, because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Oh, he's so done with this duty. Oh, I love you, Kim. Okay, so I don't know if this might be a bit of a bad thing to say, but this dude sounds like a little bitch, and I want to beat the crap out of him.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
Gloves, the gauntlets. You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
What sound?
The clicking I just heard when you moved.
Really? There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects.
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles. The smell of decay.
He sounds a little bit like Ben Shapiro.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Okay, hold on. This is a 72% check. Should I go for this? I think I should go for this because I can retry it.
That
yes!
shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath. Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor.
Oh, this game is good.
One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
So, this white supremacist believes he's doing civic duty. Okay. But he believes everything he does is a civic duty, a service to the people. He acts as though he holds himself to a higher standard, but really, and he's like, oh, it's a disgrace. But he's really just doing what he wants, because he thinks it's up to him to clean up the world. He's a little bitch, and the game calls him a fascist. And he had a racist mug that he threw out because it was broken, and he cannot even interact with Asian people without shouting the word yellow man. And he wears a piece of armor thinking he's like some kind of knight. Let's kill him. I mean...
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
He's used at least 3 slurs. We've been talking to him for like 4 minutes.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
These two are married. I know that's not his wife, but
no,
these two...
You've got explaining to do.
Oh, these are all good questions, and Kim is locked on to him.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat, but so light to hold, like a bag of cotton. This is it. This will protect your mortal shell. Don it and live.
Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here.
It's true. You can do whatever you want to foreigners, right, Gary?
Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
This guy sounds like... he talks like a voice that the Game Grumps do as a joke.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. CLI officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
He's like, I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Oh, I'm so fucking sorry. I shouted the N-word when I saw you. I didn't mean to. And then the only reason he can explain why he's sorry is because he's like, historically the Saelites are a good people and allied with the king. Like, not, you're a human being who deserves respect. Just like, historically, you're a strong people who's been allied with us. Oh, why did you lie to me, Gary?
I should have told you the moment I saw you, but...
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later. I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses lynched him because of the strike. But almost everyone in town knows that. I wish I could tell you more.
Are we done here,
Yes,
Gary?
Absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
Oh, okay, now we go to my favorite part. You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
I'm sorry for what I said.
We are technically being corrupt cops by finding him $250, but you know what? This time, I don't feel bad for it. Hangman behind
I
me.
told you everything. I just took the cuirass, that's all. I promise. I don't know anything else. No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
There probably is a follow-up to this, but you can't think of any. Doesn't matter. Waste of time anyway.
Queerus is a weird word. It's entirely possible the voice actor just isn't used to saying it, but which I don't blame him for. It's not something that comes up often. Thank you for your cooperation. Let's body him. Oh, that was a good conversation. Oh, it was 100% worth it coming over here to look for this dude. I did not know that he was hanging out with a neo-Nazi. Let's break his bones.
Always a pleasure. I mean, officers.
Oh my god, he forgot Kim was here. He forgot that Kim was counted as a person. gonna break his skull. We're gonna crush his skull with our fist. Look at this 8 physical instrument. I'm crushing him. I'm gonna break him. I'm gonna snap him like a twig. Okay, so it gives you more pain threshold, gives you more volition, and you lose empathy. Okay, let's see. Okay, nope, that counts as a shirt. Oh, that's a permanent buff to... Oh, that's good. Gasoline and a match. Like, that is good, though. Like, if there's any sort of thing where I don't need a physical instrument, I can just put that on if I'm worried about losing health. Oh. Okay, so let's take a look at... Oh, thank God. Okay, they do list them. Okay, let's look at things we've done. We found Morel, the cryptozoologist. We found more armor. We found 2 pieces of the armor. I'm assuming all that remains would be leggings and helmet, but that's a lot.
We'll be on our way soon. Thank you again for lending a hand.
Did you know, Gary?
I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but
like being a massive racist. He's always on about the death of the white race coming. And keeps talking about our land and saying they need to be off.
Thanks.
Said something about needing to preserve the nation. Said, what are the words? What are the 14 words? Keeps going on about something like, we must secure a future for our white children. Something about that garbage. It's weird that he keeps saying that. And he always talks about... and keeps saying that the manji is a perfectly reasonable Sailite symbol. And it's fine that he wears it on his clothes all the time. He says it symbolizes peace, but it seems to be backwards. I know you talked to him for about 10 minutes and he couldn't stop himself from blaming things on immigrants and using slurs and saying it's okay to rob the body of a foreigner, but he's a decent guy. It's like that scene in Finding Nemo where Bruce is nearly trying to devour Marlin and Dory, and they're like, no, he's not a bad guy, trust me, he's such a nice guy. Just old-fashioned. Even though he's younger than me, says Morel. I have questions for you, Lena, about you staying in Gary's house. Saying he's a decent young fella or some such. Unrelated, where does he live? And what time does he go to bed? You shouldn't go to his house tonight. Stay at the hostel for tonight. I can stay with Gary tonight. Don't worry. I'm a good roommate. Trust me. Like they do great build up, like having him be called the crypto fascist, and then they cut over to him. You finally go and talk to him, and the first thing he does is shout, "Yellow Man!" Oh, I'm gonna break his face. Oh, his nose isn't even going to work by the time I'm done with him. Oh, violence. Where's the Kenshiro button? Let me hit it. Oh. Alright, let's go talk to Lena and her husband and their host. Sorry that he's such a racist. I didn't mean for him to offend you. I'm sorry. You're lucky that Lena's like the nicest person on earth, or I would have just killed him right there. And then she wouldn't have a place to sleep tonight. Kim, give me your gun. You don't technically... He does... It's... And you were what? Damn text limit, but...
Can I help you?
Find a nice Japanese boy to
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
I ran into your husband on the coast.
How is he? Did he say why he hasn't returned yet?
He's fine, ma'am. As we had suspected, he couldn't get back earlier because the water lock on the canal was broken. Now he's just finishing up somewhere.
Oh, yes. That's my Morel. He's bound to catch a cold staying out there for so long. But I am so relieved to hear that he's okay. Thank you for putting an old woman's heart at ease, if even a little.
Gotta say, I respect the crazy dude who's like, please let me find my ghost bug. A lot more than the dude who's just like, oh, immigrants, it's okay to rob their bodies. Oh, God. Every time, like, it's exhausting. Like, my aunt's like, hey, you got a girlfriend? And I'm like, leave me alone, Aunt Tia. Do you have a... You don't seem to be married either, right? Oh, I shouldn't have said her name on
You haven't, however. There are dangers out there. Our aging body's found. Her heart won't rest until Morel is safely back with her.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden... I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
The ship needs to sink.
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, that's terrifying. But...
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me. I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel. We were on our first date when I told him my story. You should have seen his face. He said my descriptions matched the phasmic down to a T. Its white marble limbs, the way it moved. Our first, yes.
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
Not all of them, as far as I remember. Some of them, on the inside, like stalks of marble, if that makes sense. It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
I don't think we should go for the cold truth.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
Again? I can't believe this shit. I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say? God fucking shit.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you again.
I like just pissing him off a little bit. Even if I know it doesn't change or do anything. It's just fun.
Yes?
See, I want to convince Kim that there's a sexy dark mystery in the case. Twist in the case. But I also just want to boost my physical instrument a little so it can still be absolutely absurd. And then I can put on the armor because that seems like it provides a big boost. But that decreases my empathy, which is also boosted by something else. But I do... Oh, this is gonna be tough. Like all my physical stats are pretty good, so I probably shouldn't just go outright and boost that. All right, it's time to try again. We've got to convince Kim there's a sexy dark mystery. Jocks can't be empaths outside. Yes. Here we go. 28%.
Only banal things strike you. At one you should be ashamed of. It's
Did you think I was gonna quit? Yeah, points into volition. That stat I totally have higher. That's pretty. Stats aren't.
Yes.
Is kind sometimes. Come on.
What if you did it?
What? Oh my god.
Yes, you killed him. And then, as part of the plan, you drowned out the memory. It wasn't that you were horrified. You were just surprised by your own daring. Forgetting was merely a matter of convenience. Very clever. Maybe this is why your chest feels so hollow. You did an awful thing. And you can't even bring yourself to acknowledge it.
I love this game.
Are you sure you would have the strength to take down a hardened mercenary? You're not in the best shape.
Let's go for it.
And what has led you to this conclusion?
I love how he's just like, I'm so tired.
Thus far, your memory loss does not seem to be convenient for you or anyone else, except insofar as you've managed to avoid doing any work. Besides, I doubt you could have taken down a hardened mercenary single-handedly.
See? You're clearly not a man in your prime anymore.
I have 8 physical instruments.
Don't take it personally. It's just that security guards kept on by large corporations tend to be better trained and better armed than officers of the RCM. The victim wasn't run over by a drunk driver. So, while I can't condone the driving habit, the cases remain unrelated. Look, it's not unusual for detectives to feel complicit in a crime until the perpetrator is identified and apprehended, especially when the investigation is dragging. So, let's get back to it, shall we? Yes?
I did not manage to convince Kim that there was a sexy dark mystery in the case. Okay, so I passed the roll. But I need to pick the right choice. I need to pass the roll and make the right choice. I didn't know I would only get to go with one. So the right series of choices might convince Kim that I am a murderer. Or that there's more to this. You cannot feel guilt. I'm sorry, jocks don't feel guilt.
Yes?
Let's see if I have any other clothes that increase Inland Empire. Theater kid. No, I do not have anything that increases unless I drank, but that's not a good idea. I'm trying to avoid doing that, but Alright.
Yes?
Let's give it one more shot. I say one more, I'll do it until I get it.
Banal thing struck one you should be ashamed of. It's no wonder.
Alright, let's go for this loading time, baby. I'm sorry that you have to experience this, Ace, but I want to know how Kim feels. Thank you for staying so long. I know there have been some fun parts, but there's been a lot of me rambling. Oh, coffee. Oh God, what time is it? It's 3:37 a.m. Okay.
Yes?
What if you did it? Yes, you killed. It wasn't. Forgetting was maybe this. Are you sure you would have the strength to take down a hardened?
And what has led you to this conclusion? Teenage nonsense. You would have had to be ready to use lethal force long ago when you joined the RCM. Besides, I doubt you could have...
See?
Don't take it personally. It's just that security... I find that highly unlikely. It's not unusual for detectives to feel complicit in a crime until the perpetrator...
I'm sorry, Kim, I'm not mocking you. I just think the way you said the word was cool. It's Thursday. It's Friday morning, right? Okay. Just thinking about days and what day it is. Oh God, okay, I thought it crashed for a second.
Yes?
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small one you should be ashamed of.
Yeah. It's messed up that Kim has redefined the English language. Calibre. 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 Je ne parle pas français. Je parle anglais seulement. Oh, sorry.
Yes?
What if? Yes, it was.
English should be
maybe.
deconstructed
Are you sure you
violently.
have the strength?
And what has led you to this conclusion?
I don't know if anything I say can actually convince him.
That is a common side effect of overindulgence. Besides, I don't...
See?
Don't take it personally. The victim wasn't... Look, it's not unusual for detectives...
Okay, so we've tried 3 of 4 options. If the 4th one doesn't get it... I don't either, but there's a chance he might. And if I say this to him now, and I get it, then later on, or even if I don't get it, there's a chance that later on he might be like, maybe you are the murderer. Like, it doesn't make sense. Because, you know, he was killed with a very specific gun that I do not have, and I wasn't here. I came here in response to the murder.
Yes?
Only banal things strike you.
I'm sorry, my small soul got in the way. We need to plant the seed, Ace, you're right. We need to plant the seed to throw me in prison. Or you could make the argument that I am not that person anymore. Like literally, like not, oh, I've changed, I've grown, bro. I'm so much, like literally have a different consciousness. I do not remember my ex-wife's name. It took me 3 days to figure out what my name was.
Yes?
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person.
I love when you fail, it's just like, you're so basic. You can't even think cool things. You aren't even rock and roll. We can't gaslight Kim. We can't gaslight the best character in the game.
Yes?
What if you... Yes, it wasn't. Forgetting was maybe. Are you sure you would have the strength to...
And what has led you to this conclusion? Well, we've yet to find any real evidence pointing to you in this case, or even a possible motive. So let's not add you to the list of suspects just yet. Besides, I doubt you could...
See,
I love how no matter what I say, Kim's like,
look,
you're kind of a bitch, dude. You're not that good. Okay, well, we tried. We failed. I can't believe that there's this game lets you be you can be like a racist who steals stuff from a kid. This game is excellent. You're like, I have a gun, and he's like, you lost it. You lost your gun. I don't even know how you lost it. You lost your gun and your badge and sorry, and your car. You lost a car. I didn't know you could do that. you maybe instead of solving the murder, maybe instead of finding the murderer, Kim says you could find yourself some bitches. He says. It would be very funny if he said that. Perhaps instead of finding the murderer, you could find yourself some bitches.
The trash container stands in the spring snow.
I'm sorry. The thought of Kim just deciding to own you out of nowhere would be really funny. Oh, we don't have money? Is that what you remembered? There is. Please. Please, we gotta find it. And then download that audio file and save it for the rest of... Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go talk to talk to Everard and see if we have anything we can divulge from him. I love that if you ask Kim, like, you're like, tell me a secret about yourself, you just like, no. And then he intimidates you so much that you cannot ask him anything else. You cannot press him further. Oh, the Uberduck bot. Oh, okay. I didn't know that his voice had been added to that. Oh my god, that was the way. I didn't. Oh, I'm gonna talk to him and see if he's friends with the crypto fascist. Hey, Measurehead.
Your race descent has temporarily halted, but you will fall again.
I can't believe that this is like a skill check. You have to think hard enough to make yourself racist. Only through meditation can you attain the treasure, the greatly desired. Oh, what's even the word? Eugenics. Well, Kilo, perhaps some skill checks are better left failed. Right, okay, I need to go up the stairs. I know it's loading, but... Nope.
Before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
I love this prompt. This is the best prompt I've seen in most games. Persuade the door to open.
Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because getting physical wasn't an option.
Wasn't an option?
Using my body opens
Now
doors.
is not the time to get philosophical, detective. You can do that after our
You attempt to turn the handle. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions, with some puzzlement. No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside it.
Nope, that's where it came from. It is indeed not zero. Walk forward. I know you can do it. Okay. Can we punch Everard? This game needs to give you more people to punch. I know that's not what it's about. But the desire is screaming within me. This game could be about... Yes, it could. With enough training, your game could be about punching people in the face. It's what?
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Let me punch him.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
A fantastic change of heart, Harry. Go talk to Manana down by the gates. He'll brief you and give you the key.
And just like that, it's happening. The roll...
Just open one little door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. That's it. Anything else we should discuss? What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what?
And gets over it in 2 seconds. Seems like it didn't really hurt him.
I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
Did they just make a Twilight reference?
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I helped you get the body down. And I'm helping you find your gun. I'm not a jealous guy. Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over. What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left. Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
It's hard to say if he really lost his temper, or if this is another one of his tricks. This man almost never angers visibly.
Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
It's a fortress. He knows she can't get in here. He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her everything we've talked about, it's absolutely fine. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay.
Yes, yes. My best men are tracking it down. Some kids saw some other kids running a... What's that, Harry? You're getting a little pale. Is it the words paranoid schizophrenic and lost gun in one sentence? Don't worry, it's just a lead. It'll probably turn out to be nothing. See you soon, debardeur. Just kidding, but not too much.
I feel like I told him way too much.
Yes? What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. They, classier as we've come to suspect, didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Let me just make this perfectly clear. Our job here is to find the killer. Why did you ask him?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition. You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. Better still than an imbecilic cop-off. It's just stupidity. The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion. Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest, with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
So, he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
Yes. I am an unrepentant spoilsport. Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
A tremble comes over you. Another after effect of ethanol poisoning, perhaps. Feels like leaves do when they rustle in the breeze, somewhere far away, below the turbine. The 41st and the 57th. The lieutenant was right. It's not about who gets what's north. It's about who doesn't.
I was sent to teach you a lesson in style. There can only be one conclusion. I only be one conclusion. I'm the finest, a case-solving machine sent to outperform you in every way imaginable. I must be an augury, an apocalyptic omen sent by my people. Can you guess my message? Don't be scared, but I think I might have supernatural abilities. I'm probably have an unbelievable kill count. I'm just gonna leave why I was sent unspecified.
He opens one hand and looks at it. A moment passes.
Which school do you subscribe to? Mambo or Jambo?
Oh my god.
Hangovers do give officers superpowers. Many drink only to receive the gift. There is no gift. We should move. Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
Alright, let's save. I've ruined the investigation by telling the union leader who probably killed that man about what I did.
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to slight Precinct 57.
Yeah, that makes more sense than the other stuff I thought of.
Think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late wearing piss-stained disco garb. You weren't sent here to win.
Kim, what if my precinct sent me on this case because I'm a fuck-up? Like, as a joke.
I've considered it.
So it's true, but it's not true, right?
I don't think I can say one way or another. I do think it's somewhat unlikely, though.
Why is that?
I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30th. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win.
Huh, so you are their
I
finest.
am the finest of nothing.
Bullshit. Do you really see me as a safe bet?
Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
He healed me with his kindness. He made me feel better. Right, I have to go around through here. Yeah, I hate that part.
Yes? What about me? No.
Your brain sends the signal to... It's like you're locked down.
Something the matter?
What's going on? It's like you're... The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow and...
Good. Let's change the subject.
Pretty messed up that there is only one good cop and it is Kim Kitsuragi. But anyway.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. The words Marsh and Arrête are very, very slightly, even more faded with use.
You probably not press go and stop on a giant crane that I don't understand and I'm not licensed to operate. I've got to wonder who the 41st, what do you call it, precinct's worst would be. Is that also me? Or is there someone even dumber than me? I'm not gonna talk. I'm not doing what he asked.
Right to work! Right to work! Sure.
I like that we're very clearly supposed to be speaking French. But everybody speaks English anyway. Reading subtitles in my video game? Never.
The woman is still hunched over the railing, her head swaying to the music, her eyes looking at nothing in particular.
He's still mad at me, isn't he?
Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me into a bad person.
Inside, we see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out tool.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
10-4, come in. Fireworker. 10-4, sir. Glad to hear that. I'll write down that there is no need to issue a new one to you then. Over.
Feels good to get that off your chest, right? Celebration with beer?
10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under order. 10-4. Orders are still orders. Anything else? Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
Tell me long. Alright, I guess we should try and interview Klasia, and then yeah, I'm not doing that. That's an unfortunate last name, just Laom, because I know that's probably not his last name. It's probably just what we think about him as in our head. But like, if that is his last name, it's not a nice one. It's just the man. He is just some guy. Can I tell him I found my bag?
I can't believe this shit.
And he is going to be mad at me until I die. And then he's going to be mad at me until he dies. And then he's going to have a very angry ghost. Until somebody can provide therapy for him. Like, I wonder how Kim would react to, would respond to us if he had been our partner all this time. Because our old partner hates us. Like our regular partner when we're not working in Martinez. He despises us. He's just like... He like... Oh, he's just filled with rage the instant we go near him. Kim does not know us at our worst unless we choose to be our worst. The kitty is scratching his arm by chewing on it. But is that how we walk out onto the thingy? I worry for people who play this game on Switch because the loading times are not good on PS4. We will solve this crime eventually. I'm sorry, this has taken a long time. don't know. I do not know where my phone is. I think it's in my room. I don't know where it is though. But it's probably there. Hey, ma'am. You want to talk about murder?
I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation. It sounds like the boys would have preferred my saying it did happen. I didn't want to get caught up in this. What does that recording say?
We are in the process of listening to it.
She nods, exhaling a dense cloud of cigarette smoke.
When do I talk to her about that?
I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation. Not my favorite topic, but okay. Pretty much.
Warming them. She must be very cold and exhausted of this life.
I'm 89% sure. You know how it is.
You may know.
Maybe you don't.
There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales. Easy to see now that you're closer.
Thank you.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here.
I'm sorry, miss, but we need a definite statement.
I really like that you can just hand it off like I don't
Let
feel.
me make this 100% clear then, officers. I was not sexually assaulted.
Like him, please.
Would I be this flippant if I had been?
Kim, I don't know what the fuck to do
You get the
here.
feeling she's done enough opiates and needed enough nacra to still be flippant if her arm were cut off and fed to her.
How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
She looks at the chipped white polish covers the nail.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind?
Oh wait, we're allowed to fast travel now, aren't we? Didn't I unlock that? How do I let me fast travel. I think we unlock that when we go to the island. Let me teleport. Map. I have to go buy a map. I think I have to buy a map, then I'm able to teleport. It is the distant past. Oh. A lot of the Pokemon things are really weird. Like apparently in Pokemon like X and Y or Sun and Moon, like one of the newest ones, you need to get an entire item before you can before you can what's the word? Change the volume settings. Like make the music quieter or the sound effects louder. And there's one where you have in like Black and White 2, apparently you have to beat the game before you can set it to easy mode. And that it's not even just beating the game, you have to beat the game and then like talk to the right NPC and get the right item, then you can start a new game on easy mode. It's like, oh, now that you've cleared the game, you can play it on easy. There is a thing like that in Mega Man Legends, but easy mode is like a bit of a gimmick mode. I don't know. But in Mega Man Legends, you get an item that lets you max out your damage stats. And you can high jump. You get the super jump from the very beginning. And you get to ride around on rocket roller skates from the start. It's just like a speedrun boost mode.
Tape player. There's no fixing this one.
This would have been very helpful.
Fuck is that going to achieve? Being a smart ass. Making your nostrils flare.
You can tell Kim to fuck off. Yeah, any
My
ideas?
Kinema only comes with radio. Let's try to find a new tape player.
Roy at the pawn shop. That's a good idea. Okay, so first map, second pawn shop. We have things to do. I don't know what the point of playing through Pokemon again. Like, Pokemon is long. But I don't know why it's just like, yeah, beat the game. And you can play it on easy. The way Pokemon games are made is incredibly weird, and I don't understand it. It's so strange to me. This game is good. It's improved my mood from the start. Okay, what? It is 8:31 p.m. This game is excellent. I hope it's done well. I think it's done well. It won like 3 awards at the Game Awards. Like, it got Best Story or whatever. I think the story is better than the last of us too. Anyway, if Graham loves The Last of Us. I hate The Last of Us. I think it's incredibly boring and self-indulgent, but and it feels like